Yo, what is going on, you guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video we are going to be going over what if Venom was in Spider-Man No Way Home. But before we do get into that, if you are interested in all types of fan fictions like these, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so you do not miss another upload as soon as they come out on the channel. Also, speaking of No Way Home, if you'd like awesome No Way Home t-shirts and the Blu-rays, I'll leave a link in the description where you can go pick up yours now. With that being said, let's get straight into the fanfiction. We start our story during the events of No Way Home. Doctor Strange has just revealed to Peter that the spell has split the multiverse open and villains from all different universes are making their way to the MCU. Doctor Strange has already apprehended the Lizard, but there are more out there. Peter then goes on his mission to capture Electro and Sandman. This is successful. All the Peter Norman stuff still takes place as well, with Aunt May still giving Peter the speech that it's his responsibility to take care of the villains even if it isn't his problem. Except this time, during this scene when Peter first meets Norman, he has to leave in a hurry as a new disturbance is found. Instead of keeping quiet and staying the whole time at a bar like he did in the original movie, Venom is out on a rampage. Venom is confused and scared, and so is Eddie. Spider-Man investigates, where we get a scene where they meet. Spider-Man is as confused as anyone, while Venom doesn't seem so startled nor pleased to see him. As we know, at the end of Venom Let There Be Carnage, it was revealed through some dialogue that Venom somehow knew of Spider-Man before the events of Venom 1, at least through his reaction to seeing Spider-Man on the news. Venom also said that he has crossed many places through his time. Although we don't know exactly what this means, and we'll probably get some kind of answer to this during Venom 3 or some sort of crossover event between Spider-Man and Venom themselves, it's only right to assume that Venom somehow has come across another version of Spider-Man at some point in his lifetime, and is most likely bonded with him. This is all purely based off Venom's reaction at the end of Let There Be Carnage, so this could be totally wrong, but based on that one scene, this setup now makes sense. Due to this, Venom is bitter towards Spider-Man, and out of Eddie's control, lashes out. A fight ensues between the two, Venom clearly being a big challenge for Spider-Man, overpowering him. Peter gets the upper hand, however, by transporting him to the magic prison created by Strange. We move forward into the story after Strange gets trapped in the mirror dimension. Peter takes all the villains to Happy's apartment, saying that he can cure them and get them home. Eddie speaks to Peter whilst this is happening, saying that he's going to try to keep Venom under control, and tells him that he doesn't know what he did to him, but he's not pleased with Peter. They all go to the apartment and the same scene transpires. Peter cures Octavius and the Goblin breaks his way through Norman. Once the fight ensues, Venom takes this opportunity to join in. Aunt May still dies in the same way that she did previously, and Venom escapes into the night. Before we are introduced to the other two Spider-Men, we will spend a few scenes delving into Eddie and Venom's characters. Eddie is telling Venom that in order to get back home, they need to trust Peter, as he's the only one who can help them. Venom will then reveal the backstory to Eddie that his first love wasn't ever Eddie. He was actually bonded with someone before called Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Venom reveals that Peter dumped him and left him only for him to find his way to him and his universe. I know technically this logic makes no sense whatsoever, but I'm purely basing this off the post-credit scene to Venom 2. God knows how Venom knew Spider-Man in the first place, or how he managed to somehow travel universes at some point in his life, but for reasons that will most likely be explained in the future Venom movies, like I said before, he did. So let's just run with it here. Eddie says that they're trapped in a different universe in which he can't even explain himself, but he's sure on one thing, that surely not every Peter Parker can be the same. Maybe this guy is trying to help. And then something clicks in Venom. He put his faith in Eddie before. Maybe he can put his faith back in Peter Parker. We fast forward through Tobey and Andrew being introduced and Peter grieving over Aunt May. Tobey, Andrew and Tom are all trying to come up with cures for the villains, when Tom says that there's one more that he doesn't know how they can cure. They ask who it is, and Tom says it's someone who calls himself Venom. Tobey and Andrew are confused, but Tom says the best way you can describe him is that he's a man with a suit that looks like it's made out of black alien goo. Andrew has no idea, but Tobey's Peter takes a moment to process this information. This can't be Eddie, could it? There's no way he got through too. Tobey thinks to himself. I mean, it wouldn't be such a stretch since Flint, Otto and Norman are all here at the same time. Maybe Eddie got through as well. Tobey says to the others that he might know who it is, but he has no idea how to cure it, as he thinks back to how Venom killed his best friend, Harry Osborn. The three Spider-Men are stumped. Tobey says that the suit was from outer space, so its chemical makeup is beyond their understanding. They decide to work on the other cures, but will have to come up with another way to try and cure Venom. We skip forward to the final battle where Sandman, Electro, and the Lizard are all lined up ready to fight the Spider-Men. Tobey, Andrew, and Tom's Peter are fighting them. The three villains are getting the upper hand, like in the original movie. And then all of a sudden, when it seems like it's all going downhill, Venom enters the scene to help the Spider-Men. Venom then realizes that there's two more Spider-Men, in which I would imagine would be a funny scene. Eddie is put in a worse state of confusion. Tobey quickly realizes that this is not his Venom, but someone who looks extremely similar to him. But it doesn't mean he's any different. Even though Venom seems to be on the side of the Spider-Men, Tobey, being the last one who has dealt with Venom before, seems really apprehensive, almost carrying a grudge towards him after the death of his best friend, knowing what the symbiote is capable of. The battle rages on as the Green Goblin arrives on the scene after the other villains have been cured. In one last battle, which sees all three Spider-Men have a crack at Norman, Norman manages to stab Tobey's Spider-Man during the battle, causing him to bleed quite severely. He breaks down to the floor as Tom and Andrew deal with the Goblin. Norman is defeated, but instead of going in for the kill, Tom realizes Tobey is dying on the floor beside him. He rushes over to him as it looks like he won't make it. But in a last-ditch effort to save his life, Venom offers himself up to save Tobey, in which we see the symbiote bond with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, just like in the original rumour if Venom were to appear in No Way Home. Tobey is critical of this decision at first, but once bonded, it saves his life. Once repaired, the symbiote leaves Tobey's Peter and bonds back with Eddie, and thus the story comes full circle. Venom needed to realise that all Spider-Men weren't bad, and Tobey's Peter needed to also realise, in a multiverse full of the same and similar villains, the symbiote Venom in this case is a force of good, both learning to not let their pasts dictate the present, by helping each other, intertwining Tobey's and Venom's story in this alternate timeline of No Way Home, where the theme is not to get too hung up about your past and move on. Venom saved Tobey's life, by when he almost destroyed it. Tom's story comes to a close when all the variants go back to their universes, and everyone forgets Peter is Spider-Man as we return to square one. However, the film ends as we revealed that a piece of the symbiote had been left during the final battle. Although this is the same symbiote that Eddie wore due to the spell that Doctor Strange cast, it is now also forgot about Peter Parker, setting up MCU Spider-Man 4 and the new trilogy, just like we had in the original Spider-Man No Way Home. Thank you all for watching this fanfiction. If you did enjoy, then make sure to hit that like button and let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed my incorporation of Venom into No Way Home. I tried to keep the original story intact while still giving Venom a big part in the story and intertwining his story in with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man story. If you would like to see more fanfiction type content, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell next to the subscribe button to not miss any more Spider-Man fanfictions, and also news from the games, the movies, and the shows. As you guys know, we've got a lot of freshman year content coming out at the moment, so that's quite big, so don't miss any of that. Also, if you want awesome No Way Home t-shirts like these or the Blu-ray, then click the links in the description to get your own. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care and peace.